Hey y'all, I'm Sunny,
And I'm Liv.
and welcome to
Colorful Situations, a conversation about love, marriage, and everything in between. Because it's a lot in there. It's a lot in you as an individual that's single. It's a lot in you being committed, and it is a whole lot in the mood.
Hmm, a lot in life.
Like all of the above. How you doing today?
I am, I'm good. I'm peaceful. I'm serene.
Mhm.
My mind is clear. My heart is clear.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm green.
Yes. And I'm gonna see you. I'm gonna be green today.
See me and raise me a green.
I'm gonna be green too.
Okay.
Yes. I'm trusting.
Okay.
I'm trusting. I'm going through the process of just trusting manifestation, trusting the fact that I can make good decisions, and trusting that whatever will be for the good of me. I'm trusting.
Good. Okay.
Yes.
Feels good over here on the green side.
Yes. Yes, it do well. Now y'all know I always say that, but I'm in green right now.
Well, we welcome you. We welcome you.
Yeah, I have an open door policy where I can go and come.
Yeah. Yeah, whenever you want to.
Oh, great. That makes me feel better.
Mm-hmm. What's our topic today?
Well, our topic is a broken foundation.
Give me more.
Think about building a house. When you build a house, you have a foundation. You have to start with something, and depending on where your house is, you have to make that foundation to where it is concrete, solid. It's not going to crack. It's not going to slide. Because what happens when you start building that house and you start putting in bricks, it kind of settles. So what happens when things start to settle in your marriage? Is it going to crack and fall because your foundation is broken? Or is it going to stay together? What type of foundation do you have? So we know marriage is the greatest thing in life. But we also know that sometimes we bring a lot of things to our marriages that may not be things that we should have brought to our marriage, right? And so broken foundation, I started thinking about how there are some people who are unhappy in their marriage because of what they expected or what they brought or what they built their marriage on. So you built your marriage on a foundation that may not even be for you, or you built it on a foundation that was told to you that it should be, but it's really not a true thing. You get into a marriage, you may not be, you're going to have some struggles. That thing is going to settle, shift, shake, and have cracks all over the thing.
Well, the thing about a foundation is it's there, it's solid. It's the basics. And even if you think about a house that's built from the ground up, the foundation is poured. But I think it takes maybe, I'm not going to say for sure because I haven't done research, but it takes a while for the house to settle.
Yeah.
And you might get some cracks in your foundation, and your roof might leak a little bit. You might hear some creaks in the boards and the floors and all this other kind of stuff. So I would say that some of that is normal. It's normal. I mean, I think it's all about how you handle it, how you deal with those issues, those cracks, those floorboards coming up, and all of these, things like all of those things like that.
Yeah.
Things about how you deal with it. I think it's normal, but it's how you deal with it.
For sure. And you have to know that over time, your house is not going to look like the house that you bought.
Right.
When you bought it.
Right.
Right. So we think about a marriage as being a house built on a foundation. It's not going to look the same. Nor should your house. Sometimes we go to these subdivisions and everything is cookie cutter. Everything looks the same. So when you take your family or when you get into your marriage, do you think that your marriage should look the same as what you saw when you was growing up? That's the type of foundation and stuff that we could think about too.
Well, I think that people have to have something to base things. And it's kind of like okay, you saw this in your mom and dad, or whoever, your grandma, whoever you saw it from, your sister, your brother, whoever you saw it from. So you see that, and you kind of pick things from, okay, so I'm gonna take this because I like that, put it here. I'm gonna take that because I like that and put it here. That's kind of different than just saying I'm taking all of this from over there and putting it right here, and trying to make it work for me instead of finding out what works for you.
Bingo. And that's what we're talking about as far as growth and foundation. And the reason why I thought about this was because it was an interesting video that I saw. And the therapist was talking about people who get together and they build something based on what they know, right? So based on what they saw in their childhood, based on old relationships, maybe a relationship in the past, my ex-girlfriend loved to cook. So now I'm in this marriage and I just expect my new wife or my wife to cook because my ex-girlfriend or ex-wife loved to cook. Well, that's a foundation that you have already brought to the table, or expectation that you have in your new thing, instead of thinking like, this is a relationship, but it's not the same relationship. So how can I bring this over here? And like you said, picking and choosing also means that you have to have a conversation with your mate and your partner so that y'all can create what it is that y'all want it to be. Not just, oh, I'm going to pick and choose from what I saw my auntie do. And then now in this marriage, we have to do this because I said this.
And you have to have this conversation in advance. You have to have this conversation in advance before you decide to go into it. Hey, what we doing?
Yeah.
What do I want? What do you want? What do we want our lives to look like? What do we want our future to look like? And I mean, I know you can kind of give a broad picture of, okay, this is what we, and it may not even go that way, but still, y'all have built that foundation, like you were just saying, come together. And it's just kind of something to play off of, something to build on.
Yes, that is true. That's true. The interesting part in the video was when she talked about same-sex relationships and marriages. She said that you would tend to find that some, because I won't say all, same-sex marriages struggle maybe a little bit because they tend to find themselves living a straight type of marriage, or quote unquote traditional type of marriage. And you see that in a lot of different cultures, or some lesbian relationships where you have the dominant one and you have the feminine one, or you have the domestic one and you know what I mean? And so she said that because we only know what we know and we come from maybe a straight household, now we're trying to take all those beliefs and all of those things in that marriage that worked for that marriage and try to put it into this marriage, which is the same sex marriage, and it doesn't work.
I would hope that someone that's getting married has been in a relationship or two and has kind of built up to say, okay, I know this is not that. So this is not going to be the same type of thing that my mom and dad had, because it's not a man and a woman. But my thought is a relationship is a relationship. There are there's certain things, and I think this kind of comes down to roles. I'm not sure if we talk. A relationship is a relationship. I ultimately look at them as somebody got to do something. It has to. Not. It has to be. This is my thinking, of course. There has to be a person to do this, do that. You're gonna take out the trash. That's your job, to take out the trash, and I'm not taking out the trash. You know. So, and that's just something. Yeah. But I mean, a relationship being a relationship, and me being an adult and knowing that it's not going to be the exact same. But if my partner is okay with us having a relationship that's traditional, that where these roles are this way, then we talk about it and it's fine. Yeah, it's communicating about it.
So I can understand where she was coming from because I did. And I think that it may not be just what you saw, but also what you were taught to believe. and I can only speak for myself, coming from a Southern Baptist believing Christian home, there were certain things that was built into my foundation that you were taught was this is how marriage is supposed to be. And even though I married same sex, I began to put a lot of pressure on, oh no, you gotta do this. Oh no. If you're gonna be a leader is gonna do. A leader has to be like my dad and go and provide and make sure that that he's gonna, talk about this and do this and do this. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. I can do it, but if you gonna do it, then do it. Like, put a lot of pressure into this is what you need to do to fulfill these shoes because it needs to be like this. It needs to be like God, the head of the household, the P31, the virtuous woman, the woman who took care of everything, took care of everybody, was quote unquote submissive, soft, whatever it was, all of these different things I put in pressure and said, no, this is what it has to be. And I did it because in my foundation, I believed that that's what it was. Not thinking that some of that stuff was taught to me. But let's just take it to the feminine because I'm the woman. I was taught to be submissive in a household to a male, right? And I don't know if you remember, but I told you my mom didn't really see her speak up or say anything. Mm-hmm. So now I'm like, okay, to be in that role, you don't really speak up or say anything, right? And so then this whole cycle of things that may not have been good or was very toxic is spilling over into the marriages that I had and the marriages that I created because all I knew was what I came from or what I believed to be correct about marriage.
So the example that you used was what a leader. Mm-hmm. So if you take marriage out of the whole equation and your dad showed you what a leader was, mm-hmm, because he was the one that did this, he took care of this, he took care of that, and he did it standing up and he said it with his chest and all that other kind of stuff. Does that not mean that that's what you see as a leader? I mean, are you saying that that's not what a leader is? Because if you take marriage away from it, mm-hmm, if we're going to be in the household and you want to be, if you want to be the leader, mm-hmm, then that's what it is. So how does that work are those two things different? Because one is in a marriage. I mean, if you put it in a marriage, then it's a leader, or if you take it out of a marriage, it's a leader. Is it the same or different?
I think it's the same. And I think that now I know, as a leader, you have to understand and know that there are some parts of you that you have to give up as well. And not just ask so much of your mate to give up and to listen to you. Now I know to be a leader. I also know now that there's different types of leaders. Mm-hmm. Not everybody's going to lead the same.
Right.
Coming from that household, I felt and was taught that that's what a leader was. The leader was the head of the house, was the end decision of all decisions, mm-hmm, did not have to take advice from anyone else, especially the person that was under him. And she was under him. Mm-hmm. So now I know that no, that's not really what a leader is. Even in a workplace or even in a business, most successful leaders are people who work along with them or who know how to take the best out of their people and say, I'm going to follow you. You make the decision in this because you know more about the finances. So I'm going to let you do finances, right? Or your strength is to market us. So if I have something that I want to be out there and put out there, I'm going to come to you. I'm not going to do that because I know that you're. So there's different leaders. There's different styles of leadership. And I also know that whatever I learned in that household about what marriages were just things that I didn't really believe if I sat down and dissected for myself. I didn't believe it no way. But out of comfortability, out of not knowing anything else, and out of just wanting to have a a great marriage because that's what I was told a great marriage was, I still instilled that into my marriages. And I struggled. Let's be real. My marriage struggled. I struggled trying to use something that wasn't even meant for me. Instead of being smart enough, well, I wouldn't even say being smart enough. Instead of doing the work to know that it is okay for me to choose what the foundation should be and not take something that somebody told me. This is the foundation for everything. It's cookie cutter. If you want a great marriage, this is what you got to do. Because it is not cookie cutter. It's not even cookie cutter in same-sex relationships or marriages.
Wow.
Your marriage is totally different than my marriage. And vice versa than everybody else's. It is not cookie cutter. So how can you use the same foundation? We can. So, got some questions. Does traditional marriages work in today's setting? In this day and age, does a traditional marriage work?
I think that depends on who you're talking to.
Mm-hmm.
Because some people are looking for that man that's gonna be the head of the household, and I'm just gonna be at home.
Mm-hmm.
You
Or
know,
dominant.
caring for them.
Be the aggressive.
Man.
Yeah.
Right. Some people are looking for that aggressive woman to take that spot as well, to say, okay, you go out and work and I'm just gonna take it home. Some people have that relationship where we're both doing these things and we're on the same level. And you know, I think that really just depends on who you're talking to. I think it works. I think it's reality. I think, as you have to say, I think it is a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
And in this day and age, yeah, I think traditional relationships or traditional marriages are still out there.
Yeah. They're definitely still out there. They definitely work depending on who you are. I would like to just challenge and say maybe in this day and age, it may not look the way it did back then because the economy is different. Depending on what you really want out of life, it's kind of hard right now for one person to be at home and the other one to be working and providing for everything, unless you got a job like that you can do it.
It depends on what you got going on.
You know, so the principles of a traditional marriage may still work. It may just look a little different, right? So you may have a principle of a traditional marriage where you have a dominant and you have, for lack of better words, a soft or submissive, who may work part-time, she still may have a job, but she's going to be the domestic person. She's going to come home, she's going to cook, she's going to clean, she's going to do all that. And then you have the dominant one who primary takes care of all the bills, takes care of everything, does the oil change, do whatever in the car.
It's oil change.
Yeah. Mow grass or whatever it is, you know. So it can still work. They are still out there. It just may look a little different. And nothing's wrong with that. And even if you don't want to have a traditional one and you have one where, because I've seen this too, where you see two couples out and you be like, oh, she's the dominant one. Just because she's wearing pantsuit. But the other one is wearing lipstick and a dress. And you're like, oh, she's soft. And honey, it's farther from the truth. It's flipped, right? It may be where, no, there's no roles here. There's no person over each other. We're right together. 1 month I may do the accounting and the other month you may do the accounting. Or it may be that the softer one is going to make all the decisions or whatever. And the dominant one is going to be like, yeah, but I'll make the decisions because you're smarter than me.
It's all about what works for you.
Yeah.
It's all about what works for you and your relationship.
Yeah.
I've said before, people run their relationships different.
Yes. The idea of marriage, like when you think of marriage, where do you think that idea of marriage or the thought of what a marriage is, where do you think it came from?
I would say it came from my past relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Because my mom was married when I was younger. And I mean, no, of course, I already said I don't remember much about
Your childhood,
you know, but I wouldn't say that it came from my family necessarily, because I don't have, let me see, not thinking about the size of my family, but like my immediate family. My sister was the only one that's married for a long time. I think she's been married like 20, maybe 25 years or something like that. But I mean, I wasn't in her marriage. Like, ooh, what y'all doing? What's going on? Let me see how you do this. Let me see how you do that. Stuff like that. So I would say just knowing, being in the relationships that I've been in the past, and kind of knowing, figured out me, what I like, what I didn't like, what I wanted, what I didn't want. Oh, the Huxtables. Oh yeah, the Huxtables.
That's where it comes from.
Again, picking up things from TV,
Okay.
from looking at TV, and from, I'll say those are my main two things. The relationships that I've been in the past, and TV, not necessarily just the Huxtables, because there are a lot of a lot of family shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, I say that maybe TV and the relationships that I've been in the past, my own experiences.
If I would have to say a TV show, it would have been Love and Marriage, the Bundys.
Why that?
I don't know. I love that show. I don't know, but I watched it a whole lot. Okay. Well, from your relationships, do you think that some of the things that you were thinking of, or some of the ideas, do you think that they were given to you to control you? Like, say for instance, in your past relationship, someone said, "Oh, you need to do this way."
No.
And to be a good girlfriend, you have to do it.
No. No. I don't recall ever having anybody tell me, like, to be this what you're supposed to be doing to be a good girlfriend. No, because no, that's not it. And I would just say, being in a relationship, and I know how I want to be treated. So I know how I have to treat somebody. So if I'm doing those things that I feel like I'm supposed to do, and the relationship works out or works up until a certain point, until somebody does something or something happens, then I say, okay, well, this is what I could take from it. Because I know I was good at this. I know I was good at that. But no, nobody ever told me this is what you need to be doing.
So and I guess I just asked that just because me knowing that my idea of marriage came from the biblical or the religious portion of how I was raised, and understanding and knowing all the different things, it was basically control. And or just how as women, how we're taught to be, right? Because we're taught to be nurturers. We're taught to be, the boys could be boisterous and do whatever, but we have to be, pretty, and we have to cross our legs, and we have to be fragile and dainty, and, all of these different things, which really ultimately come down to the man and the woman, which is control.
Well, I know now that you can still be pretty and dainty and cross your legs and do all this and still be right, still be um, still know how to handle business.
Yeah.
Still know how to care for yourself. Still know how to take care of a house. Still know how to make money.
Yeah.
And get things done.
You can, but, and mind you, I'm 50. This one's not there yet. So certain generations kind of were raised just a little bit different. You was a free thinker and a minor girl. You just went on and did what you wanted to. That was not this over here.
We're 5 years apart. Now, if we were something like 8 or 10 years apart, 5 years apart, I think it has a lot to do with the household.
Oh, for sure.
You were raised in a religious household.
Yeah.
And me, not so much. I mean, not saying we didn't go to church and all that kind of stuff, but it wasn't like,
yeah.
So,
yeah. Which is funny because your family and my family was kind of from the same region.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So again, it goes to show that people are totally different.
Yeah.
Just feel older because I just turned 50, I guess, and she's still no.
I'm just, you mature and I'm not. That's it.
Whatever. Anyway. So, okay. Well, that's all I have.
Okay, y'all. Well, we want to know how y'all feeling. Are you feeling like, um, I don't, I'm in this marriage and I've set it up. I set it up. I set it up wrong. And I don't know what to do. I set it up wrong and I don't know what to do. I'm in the red.
You're in the red with Olivia. You just come on over here. Just sit right on over here because, yeah. And you don't know what you don't know until you just start doing stuff. And yeah, you're in the red, sister, and it's okay. Then just come on. We just work it out together.
If you are seeing signs that no, my mom and them were talking, there's something different. Something different. I tried it and it didn't work.
Yeah, ain't for me.
I tried it and it didn't work. We hit the yellow.
Yeah.
Now, if you find a balance and you come together with your spouse and you all have
Created.
your own thing, y'all's.
Yeah.
Y'all.
Yeah. You're all the way in the green. You're in Sunnyvale because it's always shining green over there.
She always trying to say it's shining green, but it's not always shining green. It's shining green right now, but it's not always shining green. But yes.
Yes. All of that. So you know where you are, know what color you are. You're red, you're in the situation. You're yellow, coming out of the situation. Green, no more situation, no more you gotta handle.
Well, let's be clear. Green is not there's no more situations. It's just that you have an understanding of what the situation is and you're working towards it and everybody's willing and open with it.
That's true. I feel for that. I feel for that. All right. So now it's time for the results. You got results.
Let's talk about it beforehand. Let's talk about it before you jump into it. Let's try to get the best understanding you can. Let's talk about these things.
Yeah.
Before you get to it.
True. I have give yourself permission to build whatever foundation you want. It doesn't have to be concrete. It could be sand. It could be a little bit of mud. Whatever it is, whatever it is that you want to make it out of. People make houses nowadays out of hills and not brick or whatever. Whatever you want it to be, give yourself permission to do that.
As long as it's solid. Make sure it's solid, whatever it is.
And then the other one is know that it doesn't have to look the same. Like, you come from a house, I come from a house. We can build something together, but it does not have to look like either one of ours that we came from.
Right.
It can look totally different. It can have my kitchen from my house over here, but the bathrooms that you have because yours is better. Like, whichever way you want to do it, it does not have to look the same. And we can mix it all together.
Right. So, y'all know we are interactive. We want y'all to look at that feeling wheel. We want y'all to get used to using it, not just to drop down in the comments and tell us what color you are regarding this colorful situation, but in your everyday lives. We want you to start using it. So, I mean, we initially let you all know, well, my feelings about it was that some people are not able to actually verbally say, this is what it is. So, I mean, let people around you know this is what I'm using. And if I can't get the words out, when I say I'm in the red, no,
this is what it is. And also, when you're looking at that, if you're in the red, you may be at the top part, but this is also a guide to let you know in the center of that circle is really maybe the root. Because sometimes we think that, oh, I'm just irritated. But that irritation may be something else. Maybe that you're mad about something, sad, disappointed. And also you can use it, like Sunny said, to find out where do you want to be? What colors do you want to stay away from? And how do you stay in the green? Yes.
So again, drop down in the comments and let us know what your colors are for this situation. And if you have any stories, since it's lady like story time,
Yes.
tell us about it.
Yeah, for sure.
Because remember, we are a community.
We are. So the resolves was communicate. Talk about it ahead of time. And talk about it to where you're transparent about what you really want, what you really think, so that y'all can know what you align with and what you don't align with. Don't just surface talk that thing. This is important.
You got to go deep, deep down.
Yes. Then also give yourself permission to build whatever it is you want. It doesn't have to look like everybody around you. It can look like what y'all want it to look like. And yeah, I think that's it. It don't have to look the same. Give yourself permission to build what you want and communicate.
All right, y'all, we want to thank you for sitting in with us for this colorful situation today. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Drop down in the comments because we want to hear from you. Please. And you can find us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Audible.
All of them.
And remember, not all colorful situations are the same, but you have the power to change your view.